twice, 2 times a week. So I'd like to thank Father Steve Woodmaker for being here. And I wanted him to be the main celebrant because he showed up at St. Paul's in 1980, and so did I, only I was a student. And with a little Grecian formula, you would look exactly the same. So thank you very much for being here, Father Steve. I'd like to give a special thank you to Tom Coffey, who, when he took slight early retirement from Oscar Mayer, decided to come and work as our operations manager. And just to make his life more interesting, we decided to change our bank twice while he was here. But the most important thing he did was help us keep this building kind of going. And so, Tom, thank you very much for that. He actually came back and replaced all the lights, so all the lights will work here today. And it's no small task keeping the lights going. And, you know, as you get to know a building, as you crawl over it a little bit, and you go up there and you see the rafters, it's an amazing building. You know, it looks like it wasn't done brand new. You know, this is a remodel job. And it's a lot easier to build new than it is to remodel. You know, to take something old and make it look new. And it's just amazing how, you know, I'm an engineer, and I'm a structural engineer, so I know all this stuff fits all together. And it's very well designed. There's many beautiful things about this building, and I don't want to list them all. But one of the coolest things is that it's the only church in the history of the world where people have to come in and sit in the front pews first. I can tell you this pastor's a great thing for a building. And I remember the first, you know, I came here as a student, and you just come and do stuff, and it's cool. And I came here as a pastor. I remember sitting up there hearing confessions at the first penance service, right up there in that corner. And I just, you know, penance service is kind of contemplative. I just watched the lines of the building and how clean they were and how they all fit together. And that started my appreciation for this building. So anyway, Kent Peters, if you could just raise your hand, Kenton. There he is right there. And I want to just... You know, the longer you're here in this building, the more you appreciate it. So we're sad to see it go. And it would be a sad occasion today if it wasn't for the fact that we've had so many beautiful people return to sing. And thank you very much, James, for being here today, and for Jason. And it's just great to see all the old piano players back. Jason danced. I think we did 4 weddings before he knew his name. I just kind of showed up. There he was, just doing things. So we have a little reception afterwards, so please feel free. There's 2, we want you all to sign in. We have some very cheap-looking guest registers, but they're around. And one's in Lower Commons and one's downstairs in Newman Hall, so please sign in. We'd like to remember you being here, and I think we might put a little, you know, if we get around to it, I'll put Scott on it. After we raise another $3.5 million, I'll have to pass it to get a little memento for the occasion for the staff. So please sign in. Now, just so you know, we're going to go through a month of abatement where we take out all of the hazardous materials in the building. And another thing I want to thank Kenton for is that, you know, the people come, the hazard men come, they go all over the building taking all these samples. You know, because you got to take all the lead paint, you got to take out all the asbestos. And he said, you know, Father, you know, it could be $200,000 to get all the asbestos out of that building, because in the 60s, asbestos was all the rage, and they loved it in the interior of churches. But by golly, no asbestos in this church, so that's so that's a $200,000 donation right there. Just a little bit over the baptistry, but we won't worry about that. I'll baptize it a little bit. And then, and you guys, you can all take souvenirs, but not today. Unless kneelers, you can take it. If you can find a kneeler, you can take it. It's one of the beauties of coming to St. Paul. If you don't get here early, you don't get a kneeler. So, you take kneelers with you. The only thing I've given away so far is the confessional screen, a woman came up and said, Father, can I have that confessional screen? Because I've spent so many hours of my life crying to Jesus behind it. So, so we'll give that away. But, no, if you want something, just let me know. We will be taking the altar, and some good, strong men with sledgehammers are going to be breaking it into small pieces. We're going to pour it into concrete, and 6 clerics singing the Te Deum are going to put it in the foundation of the new building. So that's where it's going to go. But if you'd like a little piece, we can give you a piece, because we don't. You know, I asked the contractor if I could do that. He said, Father, put as much concrete down there as you want. The more you do, the less we have to. So anyway, thank you all very much for being here with us today. And I hope you all stick around, walk in the building, write your name on the wall, have some food. We have 2 half barrels of beer, and we'll be singing a little bit. So let's all stand for